This one's called Wave Intro. I actually think it's not as good of an intro as the previous one, because the previous one, what can I? Oh yeah, the previous one does a better job of introducing it, and this kind of really, well, anyway, I prefer the one for introducing waves. So let's say you've got a water wave. So we're dropping some water down. I'm actually just gonna share my computer sound so you can hear the sound effects as well, in case it becomes useful. Share sound, right? So making little water droplets, and as you can see, it's going to send these ripples out. So this is actually in 2 dimensions now. Now there is actually waves going on beneath the surface as well, but we're going to kind of ignore that. Great thing about this is you can click side view, so you can see what it looks like from the side. Okay, and you can see the amplitude is greater at the beginning and reduces over time. If I pause it, you can take a tape measure. You can measure the wavelength like that, which is quite handy. You can also, this is really useful, I think. You can measure the water level. So the thing that's changing over time this time is the water level. I don't know why it's making that sound effect. Let's turn that off for a moment. So so there you go. So it shows you the water wave, and if I go over here, you probably see that it's reducing, right? So that's not damping. It may be damping a little bit, but it's mostly the fact that it's spreading out over those 2 dimensions. Okay. So far so good. Yeah. I can change the frequency and that'll just change how quickly the droplets form. And then you can look at sound. You can compare the same with sound. Now this time, if I turn the sound on and play tone, you can hear what happens if I change the frequency. Like, that's how we actually hear the sound differently. And let's turn it back on again, actually. And how does the amplitude change? Makes it quieter or louder. We could also get a graph. And this time we can see the graph, similar to water wave. Yeah, basic. But what's actually changed this time is the pressure. Okay, so the pressure is going up and down. All right, but other than that, it's the same. And then light, same again. Okay, see that with light, the frequency is affecting the color this time, right? With sound, the frequency affects the pitch, and with light, the frequency affects the color. With light, the amplitude affects the brightness, but and with sound, the frequency. In fact, let's get a screen up here, so you can see the screen is not showing much color. Let's actually get a brighter color so we can see the difference more easily. So fairly dim, but if I turn up the brightness, turn up the amplitude, we should see the screen, once the light waves reach it, the screen becomes a lot brighter, right? So that's fairly straightforward. Yeah, happy with that. So I'm just going to save that video too.